I think, this concept of modernity is something that historians really wrestle with. And it's more natural for a young historian like Hiromu to just find that part, I think, of your normal understanding of Japan in the period we're talking about after the earthquake. But for my elderly generation, we really had to wrestle with this notion that there was really struggles with modernity in the society. They were very conscious. When the war ended in 1945 and the Americans came in, they said, what should we do in Japan? One of the absolutely most influential lines of argument was, Japan is a semi-feudal society, and we must destroy feudal remnants in Japan so that it can become a modern and democratic society. And it was a view that did not, certainly in many circles, recognize all of these dynamics, trends, the individualism, the subjectivity, all of these dynamics that are going on that we're seeing right here now. That's what emerges after 1945, and the Americans help it along by getting rid of militarists. But this is the dynamic that we really have to see, and modernity is a key concept, isn't it? Really, in your generation of...
What you see here is also not the fact that there isn't just one kind of modernity, which is always Western, but in fact that there are potentially different kinds of ways of being modern. And I think you can think of Koizumi's images as an example of imagining a different, or not just one type of modernity, not just a straight importation of Western image, but placing it in a tradition and context that has existed, placing it in the everyday life that isn't necessarily artistic or picturesque in a kind of standard way, but emphasizing your everyday locations and everyday sceneries and seeing modernity in that. And so I think it's a way of imagining different kinds of modernities that seems to coexist in this period. Some of it militaristic, some of it consumerist, some of it actually trying to connect to a more older past, perhaps even before the Meiji era. All of these could be different ways of being modern. And I think I sense traces of that in Koizumi's images.